Live from the Golden Rule in Georgetown, Texas, this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show with head coach Chuck Griffin. The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard. And now, here's your host, the voice of your Georgetown Eagles, Wally Harmon.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, host of your Eagle Nation Coaches Show live here tonight. I'm Wally Harmon alongside Kelly DeVoll, and we come after another victorious game for this Eagle football team. Kelly,
Another one.
I missed it. You and Nathaniel Funk had the call on Friday night, and what a game it was. 2 weeks in a row, this Eagle team has put up some points on offense and has done a job on defense, limiting the points of the opponents in an impressive fashion. 70 points this week against a Leander Lion team that you really didn't know what to expect.
Right.
They have some talent, some experience coming back, a lot better position this year than they were last year. And this Eagle team kind of put it on them and maybe kind of put them back in check of where the rest of the district thinks they might end up. And the Eagles did a great job of that.
Yeah, and before I start talking about last week's game, I do want to say we're glad to have the band back together. Glad to have you back from Las Vegas, my friend. Back in the seat where you belong. Glad to have you back, man.
Thank you.
The offense did what we expect the offense to do, just flowing. And you're going to go over the stats here in just a couple of minutes. This defense continues to improve. We see improvement week after week with the defense. Lots of Georgetown hats getting to the football, and they are belting people in the mouth, and I love it.
Turn off 2 70-point victories in a row, and now you bring her the Crosstown Classic, the Battle of the San Gabriel.
It's Eastview week.
The Georgetown Eagles versus the Eastview Patriots. Eastview will be the home team Friday night at Birkelbach, but the battle will be on the field. These students know each other well. These athletes know each other. They've grown up together for the most part. And now it comes down to a pride issue. They're back in the same district in volleyball and football.
Right.
Basketball's played, volleyball's played in the last few years, but now on the gridiron, as they call it. And the battle will be had Friday night. And what an opportunity for these Eagles to add another win in row in the win column, but yet in succession as they prepare for a tough upcoming battle here. You still have Glenn on the schedule. You still have Cedar Park. You still have College Station. And so some formidable opponents coming up, an opportunity for this Eagle team to go on a 3-game winning streak, but an opportunity to make another statement, especially here locally.
When I did my weekly interview with Coach Griffin for our pregame show, he and I talked about a little bit, and we'll probably talk about it tonight. And you know, the danger now is you've had 2 70-point productions on the board, 2 dominating wins. You've got a team coming in this week with Eastview that on paper looks like it should be another dominating win, but the kids have to stay focused. They've got to play a great ball game like we know they can. And like Coach says, 1 snap, 1 down, 1 play at a time, and we take care of business.
And an opportunity for this team to kind of refocus after homecoming is over with. A big win against Leander, a day off on Monday for the students, not necessarily the football team, but then testing this week. So a different week, and that's why we start late tonight to give these kids a chance to finish practice up because they couldn't do it before school this morning with the testing. And so an opportunity just to continue that ship on the right path,
right.
And to make a statement win. 1, to your crosstown rival, but 2, to the rest of the district, that this team is clicking on all cylinders at the right time. You had 2 tough losses in a row to 2 great football teams, and they've answered it right back where you could expect people to give up, to break, and just break that will. This team has done nothing but answer that call. And stat-wise, you talk about it, you look at it, it's just unbelievable in a game like this against Leander. And Noah Boris continuing to do what Noah Boris does in the backup role as he's been his 3rd start of the year after the injury to Tucker Griffin. 12 for 16, 247 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. Just another solid performance from a junior quarterback that steps in when his number is called, and he's
Right.
done a great job. But then you look. One thing that it stuck out to me as I watched this, I was in my hotel in Las Vegas on Friday night before we got ready to go to our tournament, and watch this game, and names that popped out this week. The opportunity and the players that are standing up and making plays on this team are just fun to watch. A name that you'll get to hear more tonight when we talk to him, Weston Bruce. 2 touchdowns, a great kickoff return, caught 5 balls for over 100 yards. A name that has started to slide into that slot receiver position, and all of a sudden Noah's going, man, I have this weapon, now this weapon, and another weapon. And those names are coming out. Jacob Weisheimer, only 1 catch and 10 yards, but some of the blocks that Jacob has laid out for Andrew Petter, for the running backs. Holubeck had a great game this week, rushing 129 29 yards for Cody Holubeck and 2 touchdowns. You almost, if you just looked at the stats and didn't watch the game, you would look and go, man, Andrew Petter only 6 carries, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did he get hurt? No, he just didn't play a lot.
But he still averaged 10 yards a carry.
And 2 touchdowns. But then you get all those other running backs chance to carry the ball. Justice, Mays, Boris, a couple of rushing attempts. Jaheim Dowd comes in as backup quarterback now with a few attempts on the ground as well. But then go to the defense. That's what sticks out.
That's exactly what I was about to transition to. On the defensive side of the ball, based on such a dominant victory, you got a lot of guys in there. 20 different Eagles registered tackles in this game.
But
20.
But let's stop before we go to the stats. Something that stuck out to me, I had a chance to talk to him before we started. In Lewis, congrats to him. He receives his first collegiate offer to play at the next level. And so very awesome for In Lewis. And I think it's just the start of things to come for that young man. He continues to perform. That linebacking core for this Georgetown defense is second to none right now. It is just fun to watch them fly to the ball. Landry Leggett, Jacob Faltasek, and In Lewis. But then you don't lose a step. You all of a sudden you see number 29, a sophomore, Seth Warren jumps in. He's making tackles. It's this defense continues to pass the torch down, and to get more reps. That's the big key. These younger players getting more and more reps in their experience under their belt for when the season calls for it next year, and they become the leaders on this Eagle defense.
As you scroll down that list of stats, one of the things that really stands out in the categories is TFLs, tackles for loss. There were so many tackles for loss in this game, which means the defense is getting into the backfield, disrupting what the other team is trying to do. And it doesn't matter whether you're playing Leander or Hendrickson or anybody else. If you get in the backfield and you disrupt their offensive game plan, that's a game that you win.
You love to see the sacks, the quarterback hurries. Daniel Obina, the man in the middle there with Michael Valenta, 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hurries. A stat line anybody would be proud of. And for Juggs, just seems to be another game, another opportunity for him to put his name out there and perform, but yet to control the middle.
Right.
And give an opportunity for those defensive ends to make things happen, for those linebackers to fill the hole. And you look at it, you talk about it, and all the tackles. Seth Warren up in there with the 5 tackles on the night, the 5th one down the line of the 20 that registered tackle. So even your backups are getting in and making plays, flying to the ball and filling the holes and giving everybody a chance to just get that opportunity to get that mark on that helmet.
Well, and for the second game in a row, the backups are coming in. I mean, they rotate a lot anyhow, so some of the positions it's really hard to say this guy's a starter, this guy's not. But some of the guys that are getting in that don't usually get a lot of playing time, they're not coming in with a minute and a half left in the game and we're just running out the clock. They're coming in the third quarter, and they're still running the offense. They're still running the defense. Those are such valuable reps, A, for the seniors that don't get to play a lot to come in and run that, but B, for the juniors that are in there looking down the road, getting those game reps, because under the Friday night lights is just radically different than a scrimmage. It's radically different than Thursday night. It's radically different than Tuesday night. So getting those quality reps where you're still running your base offense and your base defense is so valuable for these kids.
And then you look under the special team stat. Just one name.
Oh, yeah.
The kicker, punter, do all. Guzman, 10 for 10 extra points. He's been on a roll this year. Stepped in a position where you didn't call his name at all last year, really.
Right.
And now he does all the kicking and all the punting and doing a great job. The kickoff the other night, multiple kickoffs, pinning them in that corner, and the kick coverage team manning the holes, keeping their formation and making the tackles, not giving Leander a chance to get to the 25 to start out. And it's all credited to that kickoff being inbounds down there towards the goal line, pin Leander down, and your kick team has great coverage.
And Nate Funk and I both talked about it whenever we were doing the game Friday night. You get those kickoffs down there. If they fair catch it, they get the ball at 25, but they never did. So it's pinning them back. And if you go back 2 games, you've got 20 straight PATs without a miss.
And you got to love it.
And
Guzman,
if something should happen, he's going to punch us in the face for jinxing this.
Kelly DeVoll said that if something goes wrong. But a special shout-out also our cohort tonight, Dave, back in the station at Sam Bass, listening in tonight as he's out serving our community. So thanks to Dave, and we will see him back in the booth on Friday night with us. Kelly, let's take a timeout and come back and visit with head coach Chuck Griffin. You're listening to Eagle Nation Coaching Show live on SHN.
The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.
This part.
And we're back here live at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, host of the Eagle Nation Coaching Show. And now we're joined by head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, I'm glad to be back here in the booth, but man, I tell you what, I missed a good one. A 70-16 thrashing of Leander on Friday night on homecoming. The boys did their job. Go 1-0 and let everything else worry about itself.
Yep.
2 games in a row, 70. How do you guys keep these kids focused now to take on Eastview Friday night and not let this be a letdown?
You know, I think the concept that we're trying to grow in and that we're working on is it really doesn't matter who we're playing. Like I know it's Eastview this week, but I'm trying to downplay the idea that it's Eastview because really it shouldn't matter, right? If we're working to improve and to be a championship team, it doesn't matter. Like you're trying to get better every play, every rep. You know, whether that be in the weight room, whether that be on the practice field, whether that be in the on the game. You're trying to get better, and you're just trying to stack up those wins one at a time and let the process handle everything, and you're well enough that the wins will take care of themselves. So I think that's the mindset going in. If we continue to do that, we're going to be a better football team.
How have the guys responded to that this week, knowing that those are the counterparts that they've grown up with? They know these boys. The pride is there to win it. How have you guys been able – has it worked out well? Have they been able to stay focused on that?
Yeah, we have. I mean, we've haven't really talked about Eastview very much. You know, we're just talking about what we've got to do to get better. You know, I challenged them about social media, staying off social media, stay away from that. I challenged them on Friday to make sure you're only talking to the guys in white. There's no reason to talk to the guys in blue. Just talk to the guys in white. And go out there and do your job. You know, and the win will take care of itself if we'll do what we're supposed to do.
As we go through different games, we've noticed some games we'll win the toss and take the ball. Some games we won't. What's your philosophy in that? Get it, score, try to take advantage, or?
Well, if I'm winning, most of the time, I mean, there's a few different variances in there, but most of the time, if I win it, I'm taking it. I'm an offensive guy. Maybe that's it. You know, I don't know. But I like what we're doing offensively. You know, so I want to try to get it there.
You haven't offended me yet, Coach.
I want to try to get out there and you know, get the ball. So. I just think if you can start fast, that's an advantage. So we're going to try to do that.
I got to talk to Nate a lot about it. Last week I talked to Coach Beatty about it. When you're on the sideline and you've got a game like that and everything is clicking, it's just got to be a good time.
Yeah, it is. It is a much more relaxed environment when everything is clicking like that. You know, I talked to Coach Dean the other day, and he said, man, those games are boring. I said, well, you're a straight-up administrator then, because when you're the head coach, it's not boring.
Right.
Like when you're doing that, like it's fun. You get all your kids to play. it kind of removes some of the stress from the environment. So you're able to just go out there and have a good time and love on kids and let them do what they want to do and enjoy the win. So I like it.
I got to bring up
I'll
something.
win them all by 70 if I can. That's okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
I get a little silly whenever we're up that much, but the first coaching show that we did this year, I forgot who Wally was interviewing, and coaches do not want to talk about week after next. They want to talk about this week.
Yeah.
And the first player that Wally interviewed this year in the coaches show, he mentioned Eastview.
Yeah, it's Tyler Duncan.
And Tyler Duncan. And I was watching you.
Yeah.
And you did the little Chuck Griffin eyebrow kind of like, I almost punched Wally in the legs like, don't talk about them yet. Now we can talk about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's Eastview week. For the fans, it's fun. But like you said, it's another game.
Yeah.
And this is another step trying to win a district championship. And despite the 2 losses that are there, all the goals are still in front of us.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, our concept is just it's a faceless opponent. It doesn't matter who it is. We've got a plan to attack the scheme. We've got to plan to attack what they do. It really doesn't matter who it is.
Right.
It matters how productive their players are. Those kind of things matter. But the team doesn't matter, or the mascot, or that kind of stuff. We're going to have to be ready for Coach Wall. Coach Wall's a good coach, coach of Georgetown. And he's going to have a good plan, and he's going to throw some stuff. I mean, I imagine you'll see the kitchen sink thrown out there on Friday. So we're going to have to be ready for all kind of things like that.
So when you watch the team that we're going to be playing Friday night, that shall remain nameless, what's the challenge? Especially offensive for the defense, what's the challenge going to be in stopping the Patriots?
Mike's he's a good offensive coordinator,
and he's an offensive guy too, right?
Yeah. Okay. He actually served inventory. So I was here as the OC. I left as a head coach, and then he came in as the OC.
That's right.
And he left, and I came back as the offensive coordinator. So he's been he knows what we're all about. He knows how we run the ship, and and he's very similar. Watching what they do offensively is a lot like watching what we do offensively. So we kind of I think we have a good plan. We just got to make sure we're doing our job. We're in the right spot at the right time because they're going to take some shots and they're going to do some tricky stuff. And I told our guys to be ready for double reverse pass and double pass and reverses on kickoffs and onside kicks. We're going to have to be ready for all of that this week.
Do your job.
Yep, do your job.
Does that
be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Does that become even more tricky as a coaching staff to prepare your players when a team like Eastview really has nothing to lose?
Yeah.
What they have on the line is pride and trying to upset Georgetown. Georgetown's in a different spot as they are right now in the standings and in their season. And a win for them is huge in this aspect.
Absolutely.
Is it harder to keep the guys mindful of that, to prepare for those kind of trick plays, things like that they need to be ready for?
We talked about that the last few weeks about we're going to be everybody's target game. Like we choose a target game every year. We think if we win this game in the district, we're going to be a playoff team if we can win this game. And I think we're going to be that for everybody. I think people look at our district and they see A&M and College Station up here, and they go, well, if we can beat Georgetown, we're going to be in. So I think their mindset is that's who we got to beat. So they're going to throw everything at us. They're going to do everything they can do to beat us. So I think we have to plan that way every week.
And that's something that Coach Vieira said in the baseball season the whole year.
Yeah.
The G is more than just a G. It's a target.
Yeah.
A lot of schools know the history of Georgetown football and of Georgetown athletics, and it is a target. If we can win that game right there, and it's a stamp on their pride that they got a big win in their mind, and so it's a fight for our boys to stay focused through that. How big has it been the last 2 weeks with 70-point victories, putting 70 on the board, to be getting a lot of experience for the younger players, those third and fourth team players getting in there, and then key contributors out of those?
Yeah, no, that's huge. You're building depth on your team when you can do that. So when you're getting players out there that can operate in what we want to operate on, and like you said, it's more than get out there and kneeling the ball or just running the zone and not doing anything. Like they're running the offense, and I think that's really important to get out there and do that. And then defensively, for those guys to get in there and have to do their job and make plays and make tackles and to have some experience of what it's like to be in a 5A varsity football game is important.
Coach, talk about we've talked about it before. I don't know if we've talked about it in the coach's show or not, but I know in the interviews that we've done, we've talked about it. talk about your scout team guys and the value they bring, because when you're talking about preparing for an opponent, especially the last 2 weeks, we have seen phenomenal preparation for the opponents. How big are these scout team guys in that preparation?
It's huge. It really is. And, they've got a tough job. I tell them that every week. I understand it's a tough job, and it's hard to do what they do, because they've still got to practice too, and they got to prepare to win their games and those kind of things. So it's difficult on them. But, the challenge I give them is, look, you get an opportunity to go against our best players every day. And what more can you ask for, because you have an opportunity to improve because you're going against the best we got.
Well, and I guess your scout team guys, they're seeing all district football players going up against them, trying to stop them every day.
Yeah, for sure. So
does that make them better?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just part of the development of the program, and that's one of the reasons we have 5 football teams, so everybody can play. We want to be able to go out there. We had to find a few games this week. Our JV blue team is playing Cedar Park, and our freshman white team is going to play Buda Hayes. Just because we want them to play games. We want them to have a reward of practicing really hard. And then also we want them to that just helps their development. Like, they're working every single day. Now they get to go out and experience it in a game and get better, right? And we've seen guys like Jeremiah Phillips, or this year like Logan Gegelman, who was B team player, and then a JV player, and then a JV player again, and finally as a senior is taking a starting role and doing really well.
Looking at this, I was looking at the players of the week and everything like that. Thomas Scholes, who stepped in this year at safety, 9 tackles on the game. Falta second linebacker, 8 tackles, a tackle for loss, an interception, a quarterback hurry. They keep going on and on. It seems like these players are taking advantage of the time they get, knowing in a game like this, their time is going to be shortened.
Yeah.
But then players like O.C. Presley comes in, gets himself a pass breakup, an interception, a couple of tackles. And we were talking about it. Our linebackers, you can say we have 3 starters and then the backups. These guys rotate and see what they do day in and day out with Seth Warren, with Leggett, and in Lewis and Faltasek. It's amazing to me to look at these stats and see that these players know, hey, my time's going to come out.
Yeah.
And some other guys are going to get it. But then to see those players step up, and Andrew Urban stepping in this last couple of weeks with Brandon Stovall's situation, and seeing these kids just step in and make an impact is fun to watch, and is hopeful about that future. You got kids like Seth Warren, and we've said his name multiple times tonight, but a sophomore linebacker that's gotten a lot of playing time that's going to be a key leader on this defense next year. And a Noah Boris and a Andrew Petter, they're going to be key leaders on this offense next year as much as they have been this year as juniors. And so it's fun to watch that, and it's going to be fun to watch against a team like Eastview with 0 wins on the season, that they have nothing to lose except embarrassing Georgetown. And that's got to be in their thought process. Hey, we have nothing to lose. Everyone expects us to lose, and we expect to get their best shot tonight, Friday night.
Coach, Wally and I talked a little bit about it earlier. Talk about your kicker punter, Aaron Guzman.
Man, he's really grown up. He's done a tremendous job this year. And, you mentioned the fact just in the last 2 weeks, 22 kickoffs and 20 PATs. That's really impressive. And done a tremendous job and getting better at putting the ball where we want him to put it and need it to put it. And, just growing into that role. So we're really thankful for him and really excited about where he's going and how he's developing.
Early in the season, during the games, we talked about the 3-headed kicking monster that you used a lot. Seems like you've kind of gotten away from that for the most part. Is that because Aaron's done such a good job of kicking the ball deep?
Part of the reason we did that is we just didn't feel comfortable kicking the ball deep, that we would outkick our coverage, or that we couldn't get the height on it we needed to get our coverage down there. And, now that Aaron's proved that he can kick it deep and get some height on it and allow our coverage team to get down there, we're much more comfortable about putting a typical style, kickoff team out there. I kind of like the 3-headed monster, and I think it provides some really opportunities to sneak some on, but I don't think we have to take those chances as many times this year. We're able to kick the ball down and play some good defense, and let's get the ball back.
Well, the kick coverage has been really good.
That's where I was going. Watching that back in Las Vegas Friday night, to see the gap
gap
maintain.
control.
It was the kick coverage team did a great job. They maintained their spacing, and they did not allow these big kick returns. and Aaron kept putting them back in that corner, and so it was fun to watch
Yep.
that as that all
Yeah.
developed. So we talked about that a lot last year.
And both teams made an effort to go from that corner more towards the middle of the field or the opposite side of the field, the left side of the field, but the guys stayed in their lanes and did what they were supposed to do, and they were ready.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest fear when what we're doing kickoff, that somebody's going to bring it around the edge. But our guys on the rake, we call it the rake side, are doing a really good job being where they're supposed to be.
This Friday night we play. It's a away game on the schedule. It's a home game. In all reality, being back at Birkelbach Field, the Eagles will be on the far side of the field. Rumored we're wearing the new whites that we got in. Is it going to be a white out?
No, for the fans, I think it's a blue out. We've already done white out, but we're wearing all white because we finally got our uniforms in. So we're going to wear our new white uniforms.
Thank you to Under Armour for the 10-month delay on that. It's awesome to get them in. It'll be fun to watch this, a new outfit, a new uniform for the guys on Friday night. Anything different to expect out of this offense other than just take it to them and try to punch?
No, nothing. We'll keep doing the Georgetown way, and doing what we do. So I'm expecting a good game. Expect for us to get out there and get better. That's the primary goal, is for us to improve every time we step on the field, whether that be practice or whether that be a game. So that's our goal this week, Friday, is to get better, to improve.
7 o'clock Friday night from Birkelbach Field. The Georgetown Eagles will be the visitors against the Eastview Patriots, a battle of crosstown rivals, the Battle of the St. Gabriel, the Crosstown Classic, whatever you want to label it. It's going to be a packed crowd there at Birkelbach Field at the GISD Stadium. Join us live there, blue on the visitor side of the stadium for the Eagles. 7 o'clock is the kick time. We'll have the game live, 6:15 pregame up in the booth here on SHN if you can join us. Let's take a timeout. We've got two guests tonight, Aaron Guzman and Weston Bruce. We'll bring one of them on here in just a minute. Thanks to Coach Griffin for joining us. Let's take a timeout. Back with more in just a moment.
The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard. Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle.
Back here live at the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, live from the Golden Rule. 606 South Church Street. Special shout out to Tommy McCormick and Cody Hurt for all they do to bring us each and every week here live at the Golden Rule. And now we're joined by Aaron Guzman, the infamous kicker, punter, Mr. Special Teams for this Eagle football team this year. And Aaron, we talk about it, and people, you can hear it all across the world. Oh, it's just a kicker. It's just a punter. The job you've done for this team, it almost feels like that Mr. Automatic. The field goal, we love to get to it. It's like, here comes the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point. It's good. G-Town Lumber and extra, it's good again. And it's good again. And here comes Guzman for a free point up on the board again. But then these kickoffs. You seem to master this kickoff down in the corner, and your kickoff coverage is just going nuts. And pinning these teams deep. Leander just kind of set themselves up for failure multiple times, thinking they were going to return your kickoff. It seems like the work has paid off for you. You stepped up and, man, provided a presence at the special teams, punting or kicking this year, that a lot of people questioned coming in. How does that feel for you now as the go-to on both ends of that special teams?
I just feel like this year, after coming off like as a backup basically last year to Carson, I feel like I've learned a lot from him, and that now I'm more confident with my kicks and I'm able to put it where they want it.
We were talking to Coach about it. Kelly mentioned it, that three-headed kicking monster. And then all of a sudden, when you come out, everyone knows, hey, we're going to kick it deep. We're going to put it. Now, we'll get the occasional crazy kick that Coach might call, or we may do something different. But we know it's going deep, and the confidence is there that it seems to be put, that trust to be put into you. How hard have you worked knowing from last year as one of the backups to try to take this position this year? What kind of summer went into that to prepare yourself to try to take over this and to become that go-to?
Definitely the most important thing this summer was to focus on learning to kick it deep consistently every single time. And I knew I had to push it more out to the corner. And at the beginning of the year, I started more in the middle of the field. And pushing over to the hash has helped a lot this year.
When you go out, what's your confidence like from the beginning of the year to now? We're 6 games in, and all of a sudden, everyone has this confidence that where you're going to kick it, the field goals are going to be good. What was your confidence starting out, and what's your confidence now comparative as the year's gone and you've kind of gotten through this? And, 20 for 20 in PATs in the last 2 games, pretty impressive.
Confidence has kind of stayed the same. I've always just trusted my kick, and the more I trust myself, the better the kick comes out.
When you're kicking, talking to you and now thinking back to your kick coverage team, how much trust and confidence do you have in your kickoff team that they're going to go down and field this, and it's not going to come down to Aaron Guzman having to make a touchdown-saving tackle?
I have a lot of confidence in them. Sometimes they do let a guy slip, but running 11 in a game is 11 60-yard sprints, so I understand that sometimes.
Come to that point of the game, you've kicked the ball off 9-10 times, 9-10 extra points. How much of an ice bath do we get on Saturday to rest that leg to get ready for next week?
It's not really the leg. It's mostly the foot that's – yeah.
So we're not looking for you to go barefoot kicker style anytime soon.
No, never.
As many times as you're putting the foot to the ball in a game, it's fun to watch. But as you enjoy this year and you watch this team, as you guys continue to grow as a team, the faceless opponent Friday night, it's out there. It's Eastview. How big is it for you guys as your teammates? Your coaches prepare you for the next opponent. Next man up, we want to go 1-0. How big is it for you guys to come together knowing, hey, there's pride in this week especially?
We have a lot of confidence, I feel like, but I feel like no one's really taking it that serious. We're still practicing hard, and everyone's doing their part.
You guys look forward to this year. How has that confidence grown in this team as a whole? After the 2 tough losses to Liberty Hill and A&M Consolidated, and then to go on this run that you guys are on. A big win against Hendrickson, a big win against Leander last week, and now looking forward to Eastview on Friday night. How has the confidence in this team grown as a whole? You guys stay together through it? Has there been that conflict or that splintering when times got hard? Or do you guys continue to gel and get even tighter and tighter to keep performing each week?
We keep getting tighter and tighter. We know those 2 games were going to be hard, and now we had a good rebound, and that's really good for us, and I think we're on the right track now.
Before I let you go, any shout-outs?
Shout out to the Kicks and Avon Hole, Michael Venta and Noam Boris.
All right. Aaron Guzman joins us here live tonight at the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Quick timeout. We'll come back with Western Bruce. You're listening to the Georgetown Eagle Nation Coaches Show live from the Golden Rule. Back here live at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Joined now by number 11 on the roster, Weston Bruce joins us tonight. And Weston, I was bummed. You had a breakout game against Leander Friday night. I didn't get to witness it and call the game. I was yelling at my iPad back at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas. Super excited, man. It's like that slot position has got that number 11 stenciled in it a little bit more solid, and it's like the comfort with Noah Boris and you has gained. But to watch you take that ball and start making these runs, you have over 100 yards on the game, two touchdowns, and then a big kickoff return as well. What was it like in this game? What was different in this game? Just the opportunities came and you made the most of them. To have a big breakout game when you've got a couple of receivers that everyone talks about on this team, I think it's not hidden here, right? Everyone talks about Drayden Dickman and Marquise Dominguez, but now that Weston Bruce name coming in as a solid third receiver to give Noah another target. What was it like Friday night? Seemed to be a big breakout game for you this year and making things happen and getting in the end zone a couple times.
Well, the opportunity just arose, and I just got some targets, and I tried to make the best out of it.
Noah sitting back there, knowing you have the weapons beside you, Drayden Dickman, Marquise Dominguez, Jacob Weisheimer, the tight end. There's so many different Dax Lambright out there. When your number's called, what's the confidence, one, that you guys – you go from Tucker Griffin getting hurt early in the year. Noah steps in, and he has to take over. He's shoved into that spot. What's the confidence that you guys as receivers come in with another quarterback once that happens?
To just try and make sure everything goes as smoothly as it can.
Y'all just do everything to – do you all expect anything different out of Noah from Tucker, or is it just he's going to step in, run the offense, and we've got to be at the right space at the right time for him?
We believe he's just going to step in and do the right thing because that's what he's been doing. So go run the right routes, and he'll make a play with it.
How did it feel Friday night? One of them, I was looking at him. I'll grab my stat sheet. Went dark on me here. Let me look at this real quick. We got 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. One of them a 56-yard touchdown. They're telling me to fix it. Is that better? All right. The 56-yard touchdown reception. On a ball like that, you get the pass, you make things happen. What's going through your mind at that point? When you catch the ball, is it also every time I'm looking to score or I'm trying to get a first down? What's going through your head?
Well, first it's just trying to get a first down, and then after you get that, trying to make a play to get a touchdown.
Knowing that when your number's called, do you guys know in the huddle, hey, we're looking for you, or is it all in the confidence of the quarterback that he's going to find the open man at the right time and hit the receiver?
It's more about the right man at the right time. Sometimes the play will be targeted towards somebody, and they'll make a play, but most of the time it's just the right man at the right time.
What's your confidence level now? After a game like this, occasional catch here and there, but then to have a big game like this where you came in, into the ball game, 5 receptions, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. What does that do for you confidence-wise now going in to the next few games that you feel like that the relationship with Noah's building and your quarterbacks is building to know that you're a go-to receiver, that you're another man for them to go to no matter what, that you'll be there? Or what is that prepare you for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it's just preparing me for the rest of the year. Confidence has gone up, and I'm just able to make plays off of that.
How much fun is it, a game like that, the last 2 weeks, 70 points by the offense? How much fun is it for you guys on that side of the ball to constantly, even when it goes to the running, to know you guys are dominating the game and this offense as a team is just taking control?
It's awesome. It's a good feeling and everything, so everybody gets playing time and keep on rolling and steamrolling everybody.
What's it mean to you this Friday night coming up? I know Coach hates this, but media has to ask these questions. Eastview's Friday night. Does it mean any more to you guys, or is it, hey, time to go 1-0 on to the next opponent?
It's just another Friday night game. Got to go produce points and get a win.
I love you coached them too well. I got to get to them before you get a hold of them next week or something, next year. Before I let you go, now kick return. Oh, that's what I forgot to ask you. Kick return like that, when you get an opportunity like that, how much fun is that?
It's a lot of fun knowing that we can set up the team to go score and drive.
A good return like that, and then the team gets rewarded. You guys, 17, someone sent me a text today, besides the drive to end the half where it just ran the clock out, 17 first-team drives have ended in 17 touchdowns in a row. That speaks a lot to you guys on the offensive side of the ball in controlling this game and making things click as a whole. Is it everyone doing their job? Does it seem like, some people are carrying others? This offensive line seems to be working. The receivers seem to be clicking as a whole. How much fun is that knowing that, hey, when we get the ball, we're going to score?
It's a lot of fun because once you get on the field, everybody's like, oh, we know our job. Let's go down there and score points.
Before I let you go, any shout-outs tonight?
Shout out No Boars and shout out my parents.
All right, Weston Bruce, number 11, joins us tonight here on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Quick break. We'll be back with a little trivia from the Golden Rule. Back here live at the Golden Rule. It's time for trivia. We stand at 2 apiece. The offense and the defense are tied. Now we'll check the mic with Coach Griffin over there. I think we're ready.
I don't think so.
We're not ready. Hold on. Where are we at?
There you go.
There we got Coach. All right. Welcome back, everybody. All right. Offense, defense tied up 2 apiece tonight. Slim
I don't
Pickens.
know about that. I think the defense is a little behind on points.
It will have to go to the point breakup, but week to week, I know we got 2 and 2. You were talking about it, Coach. Tell us about that real quick. Fields of Faith going on tonight. That's why we have a smaller
Yeah,
crowd.
a little smaller crowd tonight. The FCA is hosting the Williamson County FCA is hosting Fields of Faith tonight at GHS.
And so tonight, a little bit different crowd here, and so we'll do it. We'll knock it out. Tonight's topic, the theme is NCAA men's basketball, and I'll tell you it's pretty much all centered around the NCAA tournament. And I will switch something real quick. Hold on. There we go. All right, question number 1, Coach Griffin.
All right, who won the 2022, that's just last year, men's NCAA tournament? Dredo.
Kansas Jayhawks.
Correct. The Kansas Jayhawks.
So the offense goes up 1-0. Kansas Jayhawks. Question number 2.
Which university has the longest active streak of being in the NCAA March Madness tournament? The longest streak of being in the tournament. They've been in the tournament more than anybody else. All right, Seth.
Duke.
Say it again.
Duke.
It's not Duke. Duke missed it in 2019.
Yep. Not Duke. Not a bad guess, but not Duke.
North Carolina.
Nope. Not North Carolina.
Give it to us, Coach.
All right. The Kansas Jayhawks, 31 years straight.
31 years. The Kansas Jayhawks. Yeah, Duke lost in 2000. They didn't make it in 2019. One of Krzyzewski's worst years.
All right. What university has the longest home winning streak?
Oh, here, do this one.
Duke.
Nope.
They lost their last
That's the
home
only
game.
basketball game. You said Jordan. He went to North Carolina, no Duke.
And did
But
you?
it was neither one. It was neither one of those. What do you got?
The longest home winning streak active right now.
Kansas.
Nope. Gonzaga, 39 games. Not a basketball watcher. All right. What university has the most NCAA tournament championships?
Duke.
No.
Kentucky.
No.
Uh-oh.
Jayhawks.
No.
One more guess?
UNC.
No.
No.
Here.
Last guess.
UCLA.
There you go. You got to go way back to John Wooden, who won 10 in a row.
Yep.
All right. What school was known for the Fab Five?
Michigan.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
so there's bonus because you
Bonus.
got this.
Can you name any or all of the Fab Five?
Michael Jordan.
Wrong university.
Any guess of any of the Fab Five members?
That's an old one. That's like when I was in high school, I think.
1994.
Yep. All right, when I was in college. All right, bonus for the night. Oh, I'll tell you who the five. Y'all might know one of these guys. Here are the Fab Five: Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Jawan Howard, Jimmy King, and Ray Jackson. All right, bonus for the night. Which Big 12 school has the fewest NCAA tournament appearances? I'll give you a hint. I'll give you all a hint. They're in the state of Texas.
Texas.
No.
I mean, they're not the Big 12. Never mind. They're not the Big 12. It has to be Big 12. TCU?
TCU.
There you go, TCU.
It's like, go with it. Go with it. Trust your instincts. You're wearing purple.
I think that gives defense the night tonight.
Now the defense victorious. They take a 3-week to 2-week lead. Oh, defense has to pick the next topic.
All right, what's the next topic?
And now we
next
can
week?
recycle through if it's that bad, which it is. So
I've done baseball, NCAA.
we can do another one. We can repeat it if you want to.
Major League Soccer. I don't think that one's going to. Y'all better study up.
What Major League Soccer team plays their first home playoff game Sunday at 2 p.m.? I'll be at that game, Austin FC. So we'll take a quick time out. We'll be back with an update of the Booster Club, and then we'll be out of here. Thanks for joining us. Right back with the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Back here live at the Eagle Nation Coaches Show at the Golden Rule, now joined by one of the Booster Club board members, Jimmy Warren, Thanks for joining us tonight, Jimmy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We get ready for a big game Friday night for fans. You separated from these teams, just a crosstown rivalry. Eastview and Georgetown come together, both of Georgetown Independent School District. It's a big game for the community, for the fans, for these students, for the student bodies. Friday night, any different? What are we doing tailgate-wise for the Georgetown fans?
So tailgate, we're going to have at the same location, our usual tailgate spot. We're going to have Mas Fajitas there. So Mas Fajitas sponsoring this one. Yeah, come out 5 o'clock. We'll be there, our same usual location. I think Eastview is going to be pretty close to us, but we're all right. So.
And now it's going to be a different night on Friday night, being the visitors at our regular home field. Since we're playing Eastview, they're designated home this year. So once the kids do the walkthrough, the team does the walkthrough, we'll be moving to the far side of the stadium. Anything different for fans to expect there, just to have to make their way around?
Yeah, we just got to make our way back around the stadium. So you got to go through back to the north end side of the stadium, come back around, come back through the visitor side.
So the team will still come through from the locker room out to the field house, like their normal walkthrough, 5:30, 5:45.
Correct.
So we'll be there to greet them, 5 o'clock, have the tailgate, Mas Fajitas. No cost. Just ask you to make a donation in kind, if you will. That way the Booster Club doesn't lose any money, but it's an opportunity to come out and enjoy it as fans. It's a great time to be around, hang out before the game, before we get everything kicked off, and these kids put on the show that we have come to love on Friday nights. Status update of the Booster Club. What's the latest going on? Everything going good?
Everything's going good. I mean, it's going great. We're having a big turnout every Monday, basically just watching film. I mean, watching the coaches talk about all the highlight reels and all that from freshman teams all the way up to the varsity level. It's fun to watch. They dissect the plays, why they're running it. It's great. It's great. We do a short little business after that, and we're out of there. So 6
o'clock there at the field house in the classroom. Everyone's welcome. Come be a part of this. I tell you what, this Booster Club does so much for this program, and as it seems like all the Booster Clubs for these athletes, student athletes, just continue to step up. And so the football one goes above and beyond, just like every year they do. And you guys doing that again this year. And so everyone's welcome. 6 o'clock on Monday night, we'll have another one. And all the coaches come out. That's such a neat part of it. You get to kind of ask the questions if you want, but the coaches dissect everything for you.
Sure.
And put the plays up, highlight the boys and the players of the game, and give everyone a chance to see the coaches up close and personal and have a conversation. So.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. You don't have to be a board member. You come on up. It's a good time.
Monday night, 6 o'clock there at the field house in the classroom. But don't forget Friday night against Eastview at Burkle-Bach Field, 7 p.m. kickoff, 6:15 pregame on SHN. Come for the tailgate, 5 o'clock in the normal spot, and join the fans as we get ready for the team to do their walkthrough. 5:30, 5:45. Be there to get these boys going. You know the emotions are going to be high. These kids grow up together, and so as a parent with a kid on the team, how has this week been in the house with your son? Does it mean more this week to these kids?
Oh, it does. It does. I mean, it's like, parent playing the brother. We got friends that, go to Eastview, and one of my best buddies is the president of Eastview Booster Football, the Eastview Football Booster. So, yeah, it's great, but it's competitive, right? We're competitive, and, we want to come up with a W. They do too, so.
Absolutely. Everyone come out, wear blue for Georgetown. Be on the visitor side. Eastview is going to pack the stands. It's a home game. They're going to have their crowd out there in their red or white cheering on the Patriots, and the student bodies are going to be there to show out again. It's a nice rivalry between these kids, and so come out and join us Friday night. If you can't be there, if you're out of town, SHN will bring it to you live and free. 6:15 pregame, 7 o'clock kick on SHN Sports on our YouTube channel. Click it. We'll tweet it out tomorrow to the Booster Club, to Coach Griffin. So be sure to join us one way or the other to support these student athletes. Thanks for joining us tonight, Mr.
Thank
Ward.
you.
Thanks for joining us tonight live here at the Golden Rule, the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. We'll be back next week, back to 6 o'clock. The testing is over, back to our normal time, and bring it to you live here on SHN. Thanks for joining us. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night.